Well, for now, though, let's move on to this. The big debate that was right here at Channel 7 last night. It was the GOP primary debate for Secretary of State. Ada County Clerk Phil McGrane, Senator Mary Souza, and Representative Dorothy debated here for about an hour last night. And a big topic last night was a continuation from the Secretary of State debate on Idaho Public Television that happened earlier this week. Now, during that, candidates debated Facebook and the political donations they reportedly were pushing into the state of Idaho. They also discussed the new Facebook Meta data center that is supposed to go in Kuna. Now, time ran out during the conversation during the Idaho Public Television debate, so we kicked off our debate last night, continuing that topic and letting candidates respond to hanging questions. First, Senator Souza defended her yes vote on tax incentives for data centers. She says it has nothing to do with Facebook when she voted.
Our debate the other night ended quickly, and I didn't have a chance to rebut the question. So yes, the data center that is going up in Kuna was allowed by a vote of the Senate and the legislature in whole back in 2020, 9 months before we ever had the presidential election and 12 months before we ever knew that any Facebook money had come into our elections. So when we voted in favor of the data center, it was a generic tax exemption bill. It had nothing to do with Facebook, and no one knew about it.
So Senator Souza clarifying her vote for us last night. And then we head on next to Representative Moon. Moon had maintained concerns throughout the debates about Facebook and their involvement in elections and in Idaho in general. Representative Moon says that the concerns about the Facebook data center extend beyond just Facebook as a corporation to her.
Dispute at the end was whether my deal was that whether or not she supported the bill, and I did not. The fact of the matter is Zuckerberg really doesn't come into the play. The fact of the matter is that that bill was bringing in a data center, and the thing is that most Idahoans do not want their data collected. They do not want it used against them in the future. This is not really the type of business that Idahoans would like to see come into this state.
And finally, Clerk McGrane addressed taking money from a nonprofit as Ada County Clerk to help run elections during COVID. Now, that nonprofit took donations from Facebook and leaders, namely Mark Zuckerberg and his wife. Now, McGrane was criticized during the debates for taking that private money, the concern being from the other candidates that private money could influence public elections in an unfair way. McGrane explained his rationale for taking the grant money.
Providing safety for poll workers, providing safety for voters. It was a huge undertaking. Our expenses skyrocketed. During that election, there was a 5-fold increase in the use of absentee ballots by local voters. And with that comes 5 times the expense. We sought that grant because we wanted to ensure that Idahoans could vote at the polls on Election Day. I'm proud that we were able to keep all of our polling locations open here in Ada County, and we even provided training for state employees to assist with other counties. This money was essential, but I think one of the main things, I do agree, we need to provide adequate funding to keep our elections secure.
If you're interested, you can watch the full debate right now on ktvb.com.